So how's it going, my comic gentlemen? We're here today with David Doub, the creator of Dusk Love Bites. Did I say it right? Is it Da?
Doub.
Doub. Thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, last time we talked was 2 years ago. What have you been doing for the last 2 years?
I think last was it the whole Source Point Love Fest or
Yeah.
Electric Blanket Bingo or Pool Party? I can't remember.
Project
Uh,
Group Hug?
yeah, Project Group Hug. Yes. See, I say it. It sounds much more sleazy, and it was all wholesome, like Care Bears, and I'm making it all like we're all leisure suits. Like, hey, how you doing? We're all here on the Vegas Strip trying to sell some comics.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I've just been trying. Fortunately, with SourcePoint, they went through some like kind of a rebirth and all that, so I haven't gotten to do anything with them, and I've just been trying to produce new stuff. The guy who did that Tilney book with SourcePoint, he's working on a new one, and he's too good. The way the running joke is I started work with him, and I was like, hey, let's start with a 12 pager, and he turned it into a 24 pager. So I'm like, okay, and I didn't pay attention to that. So I'm like, since you can handle a full script, I'll give you 24 pages. So now it's 2 issues. so it's so it's taken him a while, but I hope to get that shopped out, and I have a few other things I'm shopping. But in the meantime, I going back to the well to Kickstarter to get out my new book, Dusk Love Bites, which is a kind of a continuation of my Dusk series, which the good old school vampire action, redemption, gothic romance, and all of that. Just good '80s fun in 2020. So I'm definitely keeping with the times.
The good vampires, not the bullshit we've been getting the last couple years. Shiny and
Yeah,
just all they, you
or,
know.
or Vampire Diaries. I did a short Dust story of why would a 500-year-old dude hang around high schools. And the twist was it was just a guy pretending to be a vampire to get chicks, because that seems much more reasonable. I mean, it's not reasonable, but that makes more sense.
It does. And the way that like Hollywood portrays vampires, where they're just sloppy eaters and just spill all the blood everywhere, I don't think it'd be like that.
Now, you true, there'd be somewhere they'd have like wet dry vacs, like I'm getting every last drop.
Right. So, what is the elevator pitch for Dust Love Bites?
The elevator pitch. First, we have to get into the elevator. No, the elevator pitch is it's a kind of retelling of an old Dust story where the protagonist Eve, she wants to be in this vampire world, but the vampire she's with is all like, "No, we're damned." And this is just one of their misadventures where she tries to see what other vampires do, and she kind of probes around, and she watches another thrall, which are basically human vampire servants, just self-destruct, and she kind of she feels responsible when finds out why would this guy be in that world, and this kind of goes into it gets complicated. That's why I'm always like elevator pitch. It's like it's messy like vampires should be and complicated, but it's straightforward. It's just basically what is the short end. Now that I got to the elevator pitch, the short end is what could be so bad in your life that you would want to be with vampires for most of
I like it. How many? You got 2 issues written right now. How many do you have planned?
it. That see that is those two are standalone. The second story is basically my studio mate Terry at Show Enough Studios. He has his book Aerobicide, the Extreme Ninja Workout, which is basically all the '80s horror and action. So just take BMX and Gleam in the Cube with some Miami Vice and plenty of Mad Max and just throw it all in together. And so I just take my character and we just have some good '80s fun. So hearty you can eat it with a spoon or a fork.
I'm gonna. That's gonna be the title of the interview. I like
So
it.
hard.
Yeah. Yep. So hearty you can eat it with a spoon or a fork. I like it.
I don't
Um,
think Campbell uses it anymore, so I think we're good.
was that really at Campbell's?
I think it was. Yeah.
That's cool. That's so cool.
from the '80s. So yeah, I'm just gonna repeat shit from the '80s, and no one will know what I'm doing.
How long is Kickstarter running for?
It is. I'm gonna have to look because I forgot. It is running for 12 more days, which I'm glad because 13 days makes me feel a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Um, what kind of do you have any cool stretch goals that you're gonna add?
Actually, a whole new comic is in the stretch goals
Really?
because I was trying to do a thing where Kickstarter's doing this whole heartbreak and hardbacks sort of promotion for July, which I'm annoyed because I submitted and they forgot to give me the tag. But damn you, Kickstarter, anyways. So it's all about love stories and all of that. And the second one is more of a old Japanese horror sort of thing. So it's full of good old '80s references, but from anime and manga. And it's about a girl who's going to high school and all of that, but there's a Shin Sagame seems to be chasing her. She's got to figure out what's going on.
I like it. So after the Kickstarter, all you have to do is finish a few things, print it, and ship it to backers.
Yeah, no, it's all finished, even the stretch goal, because the first stretch goal is everyone gets that comic for free digitally, and then the next goal is everyone gets a physical copy for free if you ordered a physical thing. I can't be so nice and be all like, "Oh, you bought the PDF, I'll give you a free physical comic." But and then the final stretch goal is I work with a nerdcore rapper called Tech Force, and his song, and he actually appears in scenes in the story because his song really fit well with it. So for that, everyone gets the MP3 of that song for free.
Sweet.
hmm
Is there a place that people can hear it, or you?
He's on Bandcamp, I think. I can probably find it for you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out after
Yeah,
the
yeah.
interview.
hmm
So, where are you gonna be this year? You got any cons planned?
Uh, the only one that I'm officially signed up for is doing Dallas Fan Fest in October. So we'll see how that goes. Heading back to Texas if they let me back in.
Yep. You said you moved up to Pennsylvania.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. It's probably way better up there, isn't it?
Oh,
Beautiful.
much nicer. We're out in central PA, so we're kind of in Amish country. So you can go to like anywhere. You want fresh eggs? Go get fresh eggs. You want fresh milk? They have way too much milk here. I say that because you can get chocolate milk, you can get strawberry milk, you can get uh, chocolate peanut butter milk, you can get cotton candy milk. They have too much milk.
I think it would be cool to live near or around Amish people. You know?
It's fine until you have to get stuck behind a buggy.
Yeah. Do they apply to the same road rules as a car?
Yeah, except
Yeah.
it's a horse, so there's only so much you can do. How much horsepower you got? 4.
So, what social medias are you on nowadays, David?
I'm on mainly Facebook. I'm comfortable there. I do some Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky and some Mastodon because I try to be hip. Trying to do the TikTok, but I just can't watch TikTok. It's all like it's its own environment. I have nothing against it, but its own ecosystem. And it's all like, oh, what I'm trying to say is not the conversation. They're trying to talk.
Hmm.
I mean, when you have talking about videos, which I guess is kind of like YouTube at times. I say that because I catch my step kids watching YouTube rumor videos talking about famous YouTubers, and I'm just all like, they're like, oh wow, it's like People Magazine, but on the internet.
Yeah. I think a few years ago, everybody was watching other people play video games.
They still are.
I thought that was so weird.
The way I always explain it is I I don't know if you remember as a kid, but when a friend would invite you over to play video games at their house, and then you would sit there and watch them, and they wouldn't let you have a turn. That's what it feels like to me. Where I'm like, give me the controller.
Yeah.
I did not come over here to watch you play. You can do this any other time because you own it. I don't have one. My parents suck. Let me play.
Do you have any books coming out this year through Diamond or through SourcePoint?
No, I haven't. Source Point's running pretty lean and mean. So I don't have anything. I'm working with Odyssey. And they're having their Odyssey Comics. They're out of Cali. They're trying to go more self distributed, and they have little deaths with them. And we're talking about doing number two with them. But no, I got to get back up and get with publishers because everything is shifting and changing still. Like I heard just the other day, Distillery went from Lunar to exclusive with Diamond, which you're like, okay, that's a move, but and then Boom got picked up by Penguin, so it's all like, rock, rock, rock. That's all I got to say on that because I had no idea how that'll play out. But there's so much changes, and you're like, oh, good, because comics aren't hard at all when they're normal. So let's add some more to the mix.
Oh yeah, and I think every other day people are talking about Diamond's going to go under. You know,
hmm
I think they've been saying that for years, though, haven't they?
Yeah, they're saying that before this all happened, and that's partially because some people wish Diamond would go away. Because from what I understood, their shipping alone was horrible. Basically, it was all like, here you go, and it could like be on fire, and they're like, you got it. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. I witnessed it once. I was at the comic book store when he got the new comic books, and it was
hmm
just like a big brown box, and they was just stuck in there. That was it.
hmm
Just to, you know, it was all moving around, shuffled. It was, it
yeah, no, they got complacent in a lot of areas.
was very heartbreaking to just see this big ass box for a few hundred comics.
And not even packed, or
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see. With Dusk, your Kickstarter, they don't need to read any of your other books. Like they can just walk right in and
I like to think so. One of the reviewers said it would help if you had, but luckily and I'm double checking, there is you can get the complete bundle for $12, and so that is like three graphic novels, a novel, and a collection of short stories. So that's like 400 or 500 pages worth of content.
for
So
$12.
for $12. So basically, the cost of that issue with $2 more, and you can get all the other content digitally. It's
That's
funny because
about
people are like, "Oh, you're gonna do catch," because I know a lot of people do it single issues, and they're like, "Oh, is there catch up tiers where you can buy issues 1 and 2 and 3?" And I'm like, when I started out, I was trying to be smart, and I released them as trades, like 100 to go, so you didn't have to wait for the trade. I was trying to be because there's a bad reputation with indies. Like, why get 1 and 2? Because you may never see 3 and 4. So I tried to go, aha, don't have to wait. It's all here. But now it's like, well, that's hard to play catch up. And it's been so long because it's been like 15 years with the first one. I really want to get in there and clean it up and put it in color. So I still have work. So even though I have a lot of stuff finished, like, oh, I gotta put in some good work to get it all polished and re-released.
mm, yeah. That's the one thing I always loved about indie comics is the space in between one
hmm
and two or 2 and 3. So by the time you get the next issue, you got to go back and reread the
Yeah,
previous issues. Which Marvel and DC they pump them out like every other week. So
yeah,
I don't really read any of the old issues after I've read it once. The reread, whatever.
yeah,
The rereadable
yes.
is there, and that's a lot of books for $12. It's
hmm
about a cup of coffee nowadays.
Why, so it is, yeah, yeah, and even a large size because I don't know which the Starbucks size are. I just remember Vente, and I can't remember if Grande is smaller, even though it's Grande.
So, dead or alive, who would you like to make a comic book with, David? Your dream team.
My dream team,
Yeah.
definitely. I mentioned, I think when we were talking to us before, I would love to work with Liam Sharp. I grew up with him doing Death's Head 2, and he's only just gotten more phenomenal. I would just love to work with him. And whoever can keep up with him as a colorist. I mean, I hate to say that. Uh, and then, oh God, I want to say can't remember the letterer who was doing. He was doing prints with like Gaiman and all those others, where they would do like a page story, and then they would letter it. I would love. I don't think it was Jaworski. I think it. I'm terrible with the letterers' names, but Lamb Sharp is the big artist that I would love to work with, because definitely his dark, inky style I would just love to do something with.
All right. Um,
And when you said DOA, I thought you meant the video game. I'm like, I use Tina. I don't even know if DOA is out anymore.
uh, I'm not even sure either. It could be. I stopped playing video games a long time ago.
Well, I have a Switch, and they definitely don't have, girls who kick high fighting games on the Switch. So,
I got to switch too. I just found Sonic Mania.
oh, cool. I've been doing Sonic Frontier. It's kind of like the Breath of the Wild for Sonic. So,
um, did I already go over social medias?
yes, I did.
I did.
Mhm.
Let's see. I don't know. Is there anything you want to say that I might be missing?
No, it's just that they have to go to my Kickstarter and pledge, or at least look. I'll be nice. They have to at least go look. Do me the courtesy of checking it out. And then if they want to go, "Pfft, I can't tell because I'm not hacked into their webcam." But then, go look and then raspberry it or donate, one or the other. Or there can be an in between. But,
I like it. Um, what was your previous books at Diamond? Are they still at Diamond? Can they get?
no, no,
No.
no. Because I know I took all the copies from one publisher, or most of them. Yeah, SourcePoint doesn't have any more copies of that Tilney issue that they did. And then I did a the first 3-issue miniseries with Antarctic Press, but that was like 5-6 years ago. And I was smart. Instead of payment, I took it in lieu of comics.
Do you have a website?
I need to fix that. I have a link tree, but I don't have a website. But I do have stuff on, of course, Amazon. I do have stuff on Global Comics. I also have stuff on Nerdantic and Sierra Nova. So I got a lot of stuff out there. But no, I don't have an official website because I get so focused on just making comics. It's like, well, what do you do afterwards? I'm like, I go to shows and do it. I sell by hand because it's the 1890s and that's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. Is there anything you want to say before we go, David?
No, no, just thank you for talking with me, and definitely check out Indie Comics, or even more if you want to try your own hand. Nothing's stopping you. If I can do it, you can definitely do it too.
We got to shorten the gap next time and not wait another 2 years to get you back.
That's true. That's true. My production schedules are a little slow, so I need to speed up so I have more stuff to talk about.
I appreciate you, David. Thank you for taking the time to come talk with me.
Same here. You have a good one.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comicchatauthority? Oh, come on. Subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.